Okay.
Okay, let's read our recipe for that cornbread. For the southern cornbread, you will need 1 cup cornmeal, 1 cup stone ground cornmeal, 2 tablespoons egg replacer, 1 tablespoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon sea salt, 1 tablespoon honey, 1 tablespoon sour cream that's dairy-free, 2 tablespoons margarine, the non-hydrogenated variety, 2 cups soy milk, and 2 tablespoons oil. Well, I don't know about cornbread being Jamaican or not because I've never been to Jamaica, but I love cornbread, and so does my husband Greg. It's one of our favorite dishes.
And I love it too, Jill. Yeah. But you know, the reason I'm serving cornbread, I want to show cornbread because actually the jerk chicken, I mean, it's Jamaican, but still the cornbread is Southern. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we want to mix Southern with Jamaican. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, when you read the recipe,
yeah,
there were 2 types. It said cornmeal and then
stone ground.
Stone ground, okay?
What's the difference between the 2?
Well, the difference is one is very fine, and that was the first one. Very fine, like flour-like.
The cornmeal.
The first one. Okay, and the second one is stone ground. It's more of a coarser meal. And so when you mix the 2 together, you get more fiber.
Yes.
And the stone ground, it absorbs more of the liquids once you put it in.
Yeah.
So it has to be pretty liquidy when you mix it up. But when you bake it, it permeates the whole house.
Oh, yeah. I love the smell of cornbread baking in the oven. It smells so good. Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
So when you do that, mixing the 2 together, you have such a wonderful recipe. And remember, we're adding a little honey to the cornbread.
That's right.
So you like the sweet and the spicy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah. That sounds, oh, yes. I can't wait to try this. I was just wondering if the stone ground is supposed to have more fiber and stuff, then why wouldn't we use all stone ground?
Well, you can use all stone ground, but I like to mix it because it makes it a little, it balances it out.
Less coarse, maybe?
Well, coarse, but not so coarse. Okay. It's kind of like the fine flour.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
It's kind of like the fine flour.
That's right.
But this meal is, you know, it's ground. It's so fine. Okay. So then when you mix the fine with the coarse, you have a balance.
Yeah, absolutely. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see what we do here.
Okay. We're gonna mix in all our liquid, which is our soy milk.
You have the dry ingredients in here already.
I mixed all the dry ingredients, the cornmeal right already. Okay. If you would, Jill.
Here we go.
Good. Okay. Our oil.
Good.
And our earth balance. Now, I like to use the non-hydrogenated margarine.
Yes.
And mix it with the oil. Also, it makes the cornbread taste better also.
Yes, absolutely.
Now remember, we're doing Jamaican, so we're going to add a little honey to balance out the heat.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, southern cornbread, you know, people normally put buttermilk, but we're going to use a non-dairy soy sour cream.
Here, you want some paper towels?
Please, yeah.
So is that in place of the buttermilk then?
Yes.
The sour cream.
Yes.
There you go.
It's in the place of the buttermilk.
Yeah.
And so the sour cream, thank you.
Yeah,
the sour cream gives it the same flavor as the buttermilk because, you know, it's kind of like sour. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're going to mix all of these ingredients together.
Yeah.
Now, you can make corn muffins.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. I like corn muffins.
But now, again, we're doing a cross between Jamaican and Southern.
Yes.
So normally we would bake this in a cast iron skillet.
Oh, yeah.
And we bake it for on 350 to 375 for about 30 to 35 minutes. Okay. And once it's brown on the golden brown on the top.
That's right. That's right.
It's golden brown on the top. Then we're gonna show some Southern colors also. Now in Jamaica, Jill, you know that they serve something called callaloo.
Okay.
Similar to collard greens.
Callaloo?
Callaloo.
Okay.
But we're not going to do the callaloo. We're going to show the viewers later on about Southern collard greens.
Okay. We'll show it with the final products.
Yes.
When we do our final products.
Exactly.
You get to see them. Our complete meal here.
Right. But also now we're going to come back to Southern again, and we're going to show the viewers something called sweet potato cobbler later on, okay?
That's pretty interesting.
Oh,
so, yeah.
This was one of my childhood favorites.
Because I've had sweet potato pie, but I've never had sweet potato cobbler.
Well, let me tell you, sweet potato cobbler, you want to try this.
What's the difference between the pie and the cobbler?
Okay, now, let me tell you, when we were growing up, we always said sweet potato pie. But a pie, you know, we were taught in school, you cut it, okay? But we always called the sweet potato cobbler a pie. But actually, it's a cobbler. Because the cobbler, you're going to put a crust over the top, okay?
Okay.
Or you're going to put crumbs on it. Now, I'm going to show two.
Oh, fun.
I'm going to show two. You can do one or the other.
Okay.
But this was my mom's own recipe, okay? And let me tell you something about a sweet potato pie. Now, normally when you make a sweet potato pie, you know, you mash the potatoes and that's, you know, and put all your seasoning stuff in.
Right.
But when you mix the sweet potatoes with the butternut squash, you have such a wonderful pie. I'm telling you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, also, Southern, my mom would always make coconut sweet potato pie. You mix the coconut in. Oh,
coconut pieces or coconut milk?
No, like coconut. The
real coconut.
Yeah, grated coconut. You mix it in with the sweet potato. Girl, you have something good.
Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds fantastic.
Okay.
Wow. Now, you have some of these recipes in your cookbook.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, what's your cookbook called?
It's called Ozella Vegetarian Cooking, Nutritious and Delicious.
Oh, that's neat. Now, you have two of them. That's the name of your second
That's
one,
the name of the second.
Okay.
But the first one was homemade vegetarian.
Homemade vegetarian. Oh, that's so the sweet potato cobbler's in there?
The sweet potato cobbler is in the second one.
In the second one,
yes.
Okay. Man, that's neat. Yeah.
Okay.
And for our friends at home, at the end of the program here, we'll give you the address you can contact us, and then we'll get you in touch with Ozella if you want one of those cookbooks. And I want one of those cookbooks.
Okay.
Now, does this have to go in the pan?
Yes, we're going to put this in the pan.
And then we'll go read our recipe for our sweet potato cobbler.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, it looks good. You said we bake it at what temperature?
350.
Okay.
To about 30 to 35 minutes, okay?
Okay, yeah.
And
that sounds good.
It smells good already.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh, I can smell that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. And at the end of the program, we'll get to see what it looks like all baked. But now we're going to go read our recipe for our sweet potato cobbler.